There's a lot of work that goes into making Rhode Island run smoothly. A lot of people, a lot of hours, and a lot of planning. So where does all this magic happen? The State House, of course. The State House is so much more than a nice piece of architecture to look at from I-95. It is a proud, gleaming beacon of progress, architectural splendor, and a time machine to Rhode Island's past. Built in 1895, the enormous white marble structure, crowned with a massive dome looming 149 feet above the State House floor. The building hosts a gorgeous library straight out of a Disney movie. This building is also where the Senate and the House of Representatives convene to form bills, pass laws, and be a voice for the Rhode Island people. We got the opportunity to speak to one of those state representatives who has dedicated her life to making Rhode Island a better place to live.
I'm Representative Deborah Falella. I represent District 43, and that's the town of Johnston, Rhode Island. I took a business course when I graduated from East Providence High School, and I took a business course, learned to type, which thank God I did today, but I took a business course and I went into insurance when I got out of high school. Back then, we really didn't need, college education to get a decent job, so I was fortunate to fall into a nice insurance job. And as I got older and got married and had my children, when I lived in Johnston, we decided to, start getting involved, especially when the kids started going to school, and get involved in the school committee. So I did. I got involved with helping people's campaigns, mostly campaigning for them, walking with them, and learning really the ropes. Well, we had our representative in the town of Johnston was Representative Joe Vacola, and he decided it was going to be time for him to step down. He didn't really want to run anymore. He was moving to a different community, and he asked me if I'd be willing to run for representative, and I really didn't give it too much thought. I never thought I'd honestly do it. So, you really have to say to yourself, if you're going to do it, you got to do it the right way. You really got to put your whole heart and soul into it, because having half of the town of Johnston, it's a lot of area, like everybody else has a lot of area to cover. So it's a lot of walking, it's a lot of commitment, and it's a lot on your family, because you're not there for suppers and different events that your family has. So it is a big commitment. Boys at that time were graduating, just about all graduating high school, or had graduated high school, and the big thing for me was the gambling age in Rhode Island is 18. That really impacted me, because I said, my kids are getting to that age now. I really don't want them to have that, to go up there. I mean, they're working part-time, they're trying to go to, if they're going to school, or they're, I really thought the best thing for them is to stay away from those type of places. And that was my first piece of legislation I put in, changing the gambling age to 21. And I got a lot of pushback, because of course you can go into the service and you can have a beer and all these things that people came back with me at. But I got a lot of support from that community against gambling, but for the most part it really didn't go anywhere. So that was my big thing I focused on that first year. I think I try to advocate for the underdog. In this state, we have, our car insurance is based, number one, on your credit history. So like for young kids, or for folks that, especially with all the recession that we've just recently, gotten rid of, it's tough for people if they've had a bankruptcy or if it's affected their credit history. So that was one I really pushed for, and I have seen other states do that. So that's something that I will keep trying for, because other states have, might not be the number one thing on their list when you're applying for insurance. It might be down the list a little bit, but number one, your credit history, I think that's tough on a young family, or even someone older that, God forbid, lost their house and trying to get on the right path again. I think you really have to, if you're single and you're young, you have a lot of energy, just research what you really, I did hear that years ago, that you should go into it with a certain, like if it's either healthcare, education, nice to have a plan, like what you want to work on. Really want to give your time up. Time and your family, people to help you. I say go for it. I mean, go for it, and your limits are endless, really.